We're here in this planet, in this universe, for multiple intentions. But the main intention is to heal ourselves.
Hey guys, welcome to our SoulFam Podcast, where I interview space holders from all over the world. I am your host, my name is Karolina, and I am the Connection Catalyst. I help spiritual entrepreneurs experience deeper connection with themselves, with others, and with the universe. Today on the show, we have Alison Barstad, the Reiki Master and Holistic Health Coach. Welcome to the show, Alison. How are you doing?
Good morning, or morning over here, I should say.
Yeah, morning over there, afternoon over here. I'm in Spain at the moment, but it's morning your time, I know. I'm super excited to talk to you because I know that we're going to touch upon psychedelic healing and some other topics. And it's really exciting for me because for me, my spiritual development has started from psychedelic mushroom, only one, actually half of it.
Yeah.
So for me, it's such a big theme in my life. And it's been for the last few years, I've been guiding the ceremonies on different psychedelic substances for friends and family and some of my clients, and it's been amazing. So I'm so excited to talk to you, and I would love to start from a little bit of a story behind how you started doing what you're doing. When was your maybe spiritual awakening, or many, because sometimes we have many, and I would love to know more about you, for us to know where are you coming from, like what has inspired you to be on this path.
Yeah, so I think years and years of interesting turns of events with life, trauma being, with everyday life, ancestral trauma rolling over. Um, you know, I, like everybody, kind of push it aside. Everybody pushes it aside. They live their life. You think that you're healed on this surface level, and I think life forces you to reappear and retouch on these healing moments, and you can either take it or not. My journey is kind of interesting, where I left my hometown. I went to college and moved on to bigger city, bigger, aspirations and dreams. And following my, these dreams, you always get stuck somewhere where you just feel in your heart, in your soul, that there's more to it. There's more to the pieces of the puzzle. So I eventually, after 20 years of being away from home, I moved back to my hometown. Whatever drew me there, I thought it was wine. My intention to continue being a sommelier and live in that world and have these wine dreams. So I moved back to Napa, where I'm originally from, which is, world famous wine country, which I'm like, this is perfect. Well, the reality of it is I moved back to a place where it all started and where I needed to heal and grow, because I kind of left a wounded soul. With moving back, obviously the pandemic happened, and it really forced me to sit internally with myself, which you can sit with yourself daily, but if there's, things going on around you, you tend to lose yourself in that. So I sat in COVID. Yes, I had used mushrooms in the past, and definitely within seeing how it has this calming ability with my focus with having ADHD, all of this stuff. So I kind of dove deep into it. I stumbled upon a quality amount of mushrooms, and being by myself, I'm like, it couldn't hurt. And what turned into a journey of just kind of finding something to do with the time that I had alone, it turned more into a healing journey. And within the first month, I'm like opening up portals to myself and realizing things that I was healing in the wrong direction. I had all these other items that needed to be tended to, not just for myself, but I think from the past. And as our families roll over this trauma, it just continues to roll over into, the newer generation. And we hold that space inside of us. And, it could be centuries, who knows, it could be from our past lives. That is what we are uncovering, and psychedelics really open up that portal and unclog that the pineal gland in our brains. So it kind of started there, and I had these breakthroughs. There are fits of crying and release, and sometimes it's happy and emotional. It just, you never know what your soul is releasing in any given time, which is the amazing part, and how you're able to handle it. So it kind of started in COVID, and then I had friends that were interested in it, and I'm creating these ways for them to enjoy as well, and release whatever it is that they were, looking to release. And that begun my healing journey. And I feel I got pulled into Reiki, which I had always been a receiver of Reiki, for about 8 years now. And I knew it really helped. And for me, balancing energies and slowing the pace and getting grounded, it was huge and detrimental into my success as a person. And so, as it aligned, I was offered to take a series of classes to become a Reiki master. And I did that in COVID as well. And it goes simultaneously. I think, not everybody has one path. We have multiple paths. We could do multiple things in life. And that's kind of I've had an awakening within myself, thinking that, you get stuck doing one thing our whole life. And that's not really our intention. Our intention is to find what makes us happy in our consciousness in life. So I feel like psychedelics really open up that portal, alongside of many different, structures and ways of gearing your life. I just started reading up on Ikigai, which is kind of a full-on consciousness that opens your brain, and for us to know that we're here in this planet, in this universe, for multiple intentions. But the main intention is to heal ourselves. And with psychedelics, it's an easy way healing is not easy, but it is an easy portal to open to the healing path, which is, it kind of overjoys me to think of where I started and where I'm at, and how everybody can have this journey. With other medications and synthetic medications, everybody is different. But the great thing about psychedelics is it's the same. The journey is different, but it's the same, conscious opening for ourselves and our soul and why we're here. So I just can't speak. I can't praise psychedelics enough into helping this journey for myself, for others, other people that I've opened the doors to, spreading the words and of what my journey was, and to help others in their, healing process.
Amazing. I loved everything you
Yeah.
shared. And I'm super curious, based on the story you shared, when you were starting your journey with mushrooms during COVID, have you
Mhm.
done microdosing or more like macrodosing or both?
So I started with macro, or the hero dosing, which is the large dosing, which that's what, everybody is used to doing, because they want to have these, whether it's, geared towards fun or healing. That's what, I started off doing. And that is where the detox, I feel like it went through a soul detox, where all of these things that have been pushed down, for so long, they end up rising to the top, and you're tending to them. So I started off there, and then I realized, wow, you actually, things with that you deal with on a day-to-day basis, anxiety, ADHD, depression, whatever those things are, I realized that microdosing can help, which, instead of, using synthetic medications, prescription medications. It's a wide array, and each mushroom obviously has a different type. So each type can help in different ways. And I realized, that, microdosing and making capsules is a great way to deal with your everyday situation, so that you can walk through life without having to have these small, I wouldn't say burdens, but small things about you that obviously have been rolled over for whatever reason, into your life. for instance, I'm going to give an example. I had a friend dealing with depression. I worked with her. She was interested in the microdosing during COVID. A lot of people in the United States lost their health insurance, and it's expensive. And she's like, I'm not really sure what to do, but I can't get my medication. What do you think about microdosing? I said, honestly, for me, it's amazing. I'll help you out in that path. And she came back. She's like, this is the most amazing thing I've had since I've been on medication for depression, because it allows me to feel and not walk through in a haze. And I'm actually realizing more and more about myself and what my depression is all about. Not just a doctor saying, you have depression, it's a chemical imbalance, A, B, C, D, and it's more to it. And the more you are able to open that up and heal yourself, the more you realize that you're not stuck with this for the rest of your life. This is who you are and what you're made of. So if you're healing these things, then you're not stuck in this box and the world becomes broader to you. And I think the microdosing is an everyday advocate for you. It's like you're kind of like your teammate in your head that's telling you you can. The interesting thing, I've read so much about microdosing, from science to what it actually does in your brain. And psychedelic mushrooms are one of the only, classified drugs that you don't build a tolerance to. So you would never have to continue doing more and more. The doses stay the doses. There's microdosing, there's a little bit more than microdosing, there's macrodosing, and it's based on body weight is the reality of it. And you figure that out. And what our brain does is, when we're not macro or microdosing, it tries to match the serotonin levels, the dopamine levels. It tries to match whatever that healthy part of your body is going on and continue that without doing it. So it's kind of a wonderful thing to think about, that your body is basically reprogramming, which there is nothing out on, the pharmaceutical market. There's nothing out there that is helping us reprogram our brain into a happier space. So that in itself is, I mean, worldwide, we should be advocating as much as we can. And I know it's spreading more and more. And I'm hoping within the next, few years, everybody can feel comfortable and confident doing this without all the stigma to it. So it's just one of those amazing things that, wow, when I don't take this, my brain is still working hard to be in this safe, conscious space, which is wonderful. And on top of, mushrooms have all these side benefits health wise, just in general. So it's just such an amazing thing, that an experience that I feel like every person should at least experience, whether it's by themselves or assisted, because once you open up these gates and see that the key to life is to heal yourself, then life just becomes, so much more, don't want to say easy, but you understand your purpose.
And more enjoyable, I guess.
Yeah.
Because you can really see the value in everything. You can see the value in negative emotions as well, not only the positive experiences of your life, but it opens you up to have a broader perspective. Because if the mushrooms take you through your deepest shit ever, through your deepest shadows, and you get on the other side of it, then you're like, oh my God, now I opened up to this whole new reality, to this whole new me that is able to handle these kind of experiences. And then you expand as a person, because like, okay, if I handled this, then I can handle even more. And then even though it might not be comfortable and pleasant in the moment, if the mushroom wants to bring you on the journey to your shadows, you just need to let it happen. And then once you do let it happen, once you let the medicine actually take you where you need to go, then the magic happens and you open up to this whole new reality. So yeah, I'm totally with you on this. Should be legal, should be everywhere, and it should be in the pharmacy as one of the main things to help people. That's what I think as well, just because I can see how big of a benefit it can bring to everyone. And it's just so sad for me, as you said, with depression, that you just get some pills because they treat it as chemical imbalance. I mean, yeah, maybe on the physical level it's a chemical imbalance, but you have suppressed emotions that cause you to be depressed because it was so just accumulated within you that now you cannot get out of your neural pathways that tell you life is shit. You need to just get out of these ways of thinking, so then you can reprogram your brain for positivity. But if people just give you pills and to just numb your emotions, you'll never resolve it. And it's just so sad for me to talk about depression and how it's cured in, everyday life by normal, let's say, medicine, rather than alternative medicine, because I feel like it's just
Mm-hmm.
not, it's not healing. It's just, like numbing. It's not really even helping. So I'm totally with you
Yeah.
on that.
Yes. And yeah, it's things that are treated, they're treated like a long-term sickness, like that this is your ailment, this is what you're going to have and deal with the whole rest of your life. And that's not the case, because whatever it is, the anxieties, the depressions, this all is, it's rolled over from past lives, from parents, from current life. It's just, you can only take so much. A cup of water can only hold so much water. And so when it overflows, then we have these, chemical imbalances in our brain. We have these emotional outbursts, these emotional um, moments of overwhelming. But once you open that gate, whatever, or the portal, whatever you do, and you're able to feel that sense of higher vibration in your life, it's almost like you want to run for it, because it feels, you're grounded. It feels so much better than the stagnant that you've been living in. And
Mm-hmm.
it opens up the door. The shadow work is very difficult, and it's not just, oh great, I did it my shadow work in a weekend, I had this hero dose of magic mushrooms, and I feel great. Well, it's a constant work in motion. As we know, you can't just, grow a garden and just tend to it once and you're plentiful for the rest of your life. It's a cycle. And since, we are humans walking in these capsules going around Earth, people that we come into contact with every day, adjust our life a little and put their vibration and their, negative energy can be put out there. So we're constantly maneuvering, and it's a constant work in motion. And to get comfortable with doing the shadow work and realizing all the negative that you thought is actually for your benefit. It's pushing you to this higher consciousness level, which you start opening those gates up. I'm going to touch on the idea of, once you're doing this work, once you're deep into it, once you're realizing and getting to a safe spot, of realizing your conscious self, what you're here on this earth, this universe to do in this life. And you roll with the healing process. I've experienced just these huge bursts of creativity where you just want to sit and kind of expel it all. I don't know if it's something that has been building up for years and years, or I just opening up these clogged, clogs in your brain, or whatever it is that is happening. I've realized that I read hugely on sexual transmutation, which was, it kind of it sparked upon me. I read an article and then I continued reading, and I realized, like, lots of artists do it. They've been doing it for centuries. It's a huge way within balancing chakras as well, because a lot of people hold trauma in their sacral chakra, which is where our sexual organs are. And that is kind of um, where our passion, our creativity lies, where our biggest consciousness is. It lies in our sacral chakra. So within that, I realized, to abstain, people, take it as a negative thing. Our society, I especially feel like in the US, is very, very sexualized. I mean, from, what we see on TV to marketing, especially with women. And I've always, have always had a consciousness about this where it's for women, I've always felt that we are taken as who we are on the outside first, and then our brain second, because what are we, that's our value. So I've always had a consciousness with myself that that's not how I want it to be valued. So when I dove into reading about sexual transmutation, I realized in my life, and being very open and honest about that, to abstain from sexual intimacy has actually been a bigger benefit in my life. As very interesting looking back, seeing my relationships and males that I've dated, and they all did very well. Whatever their dreams and aspirations were, when I was with them, it was like I was giving my sacral chakra energy to them. And that's what people do when they engage in sexual activities, is that that sacral chakra is aligning. And for women, our sacral chakra, because of our disposition, our chemical, or whatever it may be that makes us who we are, we tend to give over giving. So I realized, throughout the years, that what my success was being put down. And because I was giving all my creative energy, I was giving all my passions away for a man to succeed, which, again, that's your path. If that's your path, that's your path. So I realized that maybe it is time for me to abstain from this and come into my own and my own creativity. And with that, I have had more successes, more conscious awareness of what I should be doing in life and within helping others. And it's just opened up a whole nother gate. And I think just a time period in your life that, to abstain it's self-control. You're in this happy vibration in your life. You're vibrating higher. So you're able to sense when things are not right for you, instead of making wrong decisions and being, seeing the surface level, especially with relations with with men or women, whatever it may be. You're able to see past it and see, this is not serving me. This is more serving them. Where we all get this guilt, and we give excuses. Well, that completely goes away. The excuses, you don't have these excuses anymore. It's more of, you kind of see this light that, you can have empathy. You can think, wow, this person's a great human. But for me, we don't serve purpose for one another currently in this moment, which is something I feel that everybody should go through, so they understand, what a positive relationship is and what serves you. Because that's really, again, with this consciousness, we have to do what's best to serve us. And a lot of us are just doing to go through the motions, or doing because this is what we think we're supposed to be doing. But the reality of it is it's holding us back from who we are, who we truly are here to be. And that creativity level, I feel like the more and more conscious we become, we have so much more within ourselves than what we think we do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as on my Instagram, I am aware of many hats. I realized, I'm like, I don't have to be stuck into one box for the rest of my life. I can do it all. And it's kind of like, and that's another thing the psychedelics will open that to. It's like, no, you can do whatever you want and be whoever you want without caring. If you're not hurting anybody, then you don't really have to care what the feedback is, because you are your biggest fan. And that is something that's really, it takes a long, long time to get through and get to for a lot of people, but it's there. It's there for you. It's like, you could see it. And the macrodosing journey is just, it's unreal. It's crazy to think about like where you started and where you're at currently. And it's amazing how fast, if you want to, go 90 miles per hour, you can go 90 miles per hour if you're open to it. If you want to go 10 miles per hour, you can go 10 miles per hour, but it's all there for us for the taking.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I have so many questions based on what you just said. But I totally resonate with everything. And especially that when
Yeah.
you do substances like that, when you intend to heal, your intention is going to shape your
Mm-hmm.
experience. So if you intend to heal fast, you're going to go through the deepest stuff quite effectively, right? And then you probably become a different type of person unless you don't integrate, because I feel like integration after the experience is also very important to really sync all this wisdom, all this energy, all this whatever you shifted with yourself, just to kind of integrate it into your everyday life, because it's not enough to just have an experience. It's integration is also a part of it. It's very, very important. But I would love to talk about this sexual transmutation, because it's very interesting for me how you said that you were giving your power in a way away to someone, and your creative power, your from your womb as well, because womb is a portal of creation. Obviously for women it's like a even more powerful energy center, I feel. And I feel like I would, if I have doubts about this, it's like, so how do I do this without giving my power away? How can I create with my partner or with a man rather than just giving it away? Because I don't believe that you always need to give it away. I believe it's very dependent on your energy in the moment, on how you perceive the other person, whether you are a giver or not, maybe how powerful you are in your womb, in your center, and how you direct and manipulate energy. And so I want to ask, like, do you feel like we always give it away? And if yes, can we direct it, and then can we rebuild it, or can we do it consciously so that we create with another person that we have a sexual experience with, rather
Mm-hmm.
than giving our power away?
Right. I definitely think there can be a great duality in it. I think once you put the work in and once you've healed, you are able to have this um, connection between two people, that you're balanced. You feel that I guess it's a confidence in yourself, and you're choosing the right partners, and you're choosing the right energy. So it all kind of aligns, and your sacral chakra will know. You'll feel it. There's definitely, you don't even have to engage in specific things, that you already feel this energy between your partner, that it's a safe space. And I think that is the most important to create this healthy balance between the two.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I agree, and
um,
because when I feel into my experience with that, I feel like with my ex
mhm,
partner Ricky, he's just such a beautiful being, and we always, when we merged our
mhm,
energies, like he had so much, let's say, safety and power, and success, and all these like masculine chakras, right? Because masculine are the first one, which is all about safety; the third one, which is all about power, strength; the throat chakra, success, ease, and fulfillment, and so on. And feminine are obviously the sacred chakra, like creativity, relationships, the heart, the love, right, the empathy, and the third eye, which is intuition and feeling, and so on, sensing. And I feel like if you merge with a man, for example, in my case, as a heterosexual, I mean, I don't really care who merges with whom, but in my case, in this kind of relationship, I feel like we both really gave each other so much that even if I was the one giving more from my sacral chakra, he was the one giving more from his first chakra and third chakra, and me fourth chakra, and so on. And it's like a big, beautiful dance of the energies. When we merge together, then we are even more powerful to create whatever we want, because this is like combined power. So I would never really see it as I'm giving something away. I would always see it as like I'm just merging and empowering, and we both create the beautiful power of creativity and
right,
creation and manifestation together. That's how I saw it and felt it anyway. So do you agree with that?
right. I agree. I think you guys have done the work, and I also believe that people can heal together to create this happy, safe space. And then sometimes the relationship continues on, and sometimes the relationship has served its purpose, which I think is a wonderful thing. I think people get lost in thinking you have to have one partner and one style of relationship your whole life. And that's not truly what it's all about. My past relationships, I still talk to most of them because I can look back now and say that relationship served its purpose. I was still on my healing journey. I can't speak for them because that's their journey, but the relationship served its purpose. Maybe in the moment you don't feel that it is, and maybe in the moment you're trying to save a relationship, but I can see, I was still in the healing process, and I was over giving too much, being too much of a supporter instead of balancing myself. And I can see that now. And that's my journey and who I am. So I can see that now, and now have a more balanced, positive, full circle relationship versus feeling that I'm always giving. And whereas, in the moment you're thinking, oh, maybe I'm being taken advantage of, but you can't be taken advantage of if you don't leave yourself open to that. So it is our own personal selves that are making that choice to overgive and not focus on ourselves and be more grounded and set boundaries. So again, it's just all a learning process. And, when you go on this journey, I'm thankful and grateful instead of, a lot of people are angry at past relationships and this didn't go my way. And it's not really about you getting your way. It's about healing in your journey, which is great. And people will come into your pathway, and some are there to stay and some are there for the moment. And there's nothing to be saddened about because it's still the experience of your life and in your journey. But I think in your case with your ex, I think that is a beautiful thing as you're giving. It's almost like you're recharging each other in ways that you need more of that energy. It's a compliment. You're complementing each other. And with all of our journeys, we experience different things, and that's the beauty of it. Is there is no wrong or right. It just is. It is all an experience. I feel that I think abstaining in my case was to balance myself, and it's part of my journey. And if you have an overactive, chakra, you tend to that overactive chakra. So you can balance your chakras out. And I think that's what it comes into play. I know that my creativity, just the structure of the human that I am, I do best in focus by myself and alone to bring out these creativities without outside influence. And I think everybody is different. It's just in my situation, it really helped. And I read about it so much, and I realized like lots of people have been doing this for a long time. It wasn't unusual, when artists of the 19th century, 18th century, 17th century would have this sexual transmutation and they would abstain. It was because they were going through a creative spell, and they knew that they didn't want any outside energy to come into them, as they wanted their full creativity to be solely them, which is, something our society doesn't talk about enough. They think, they just think abstinence, and they think of church, religion, and that's not necessarily the tie-in. This is something that people do. It's something to help, follow their consciousness, their creativity, what have you. And I think it's an interesting thing. People don't talk about sexuality enough, and how there's such a broad spectrum of different things that everybody, can go through or that are dealing with. Which again, I don't think I would have ever touched on this if I hadn't, done the psychedelic work, just the work in general. And as time goes on, I see myself doing, less of the hero dosing because I don't feel it's necessary as often, because my brain is triggered to want to do the work instead of pushing it down in fear. And I think that's another, huge thing to touch on, is that we live our lives in this fearful moment of not bringing up issues that we need to, and traumas, But as you do the work, you want to keep pulling the fear out because you realize it keeps you in that low vibration. And that's not where your body, your soul, your mind want to be. It all wants to be vibrating higher because it does keep you in a very conscious state.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I loved everything you shared. And I just have a curious question about this
Mm-hmm.
sexual transmutation, but also for men and women in terms of like how different it is. Because I believe, or I've learned, or I've experienced that, for example, having an orgasm for a woman, it's different than having an orgasm for a man. And for a woman, it's like charging up, it's like creating more of the energy, whereas for men it's actually like releasing energy. And therefore I'm really curious to know, because I know that I've heard that some geniuses of the past were kind of not having an orgasm just to keep this energy inside. But I also feel that sometimes, for myself, from my experience, if I do have it, then I can really like manipulate this energy and place it somewhere else in my body, and then actually have more creativity after that than before. So I'm really curious to know, because you say that you're accumulating this energy, and I believe that it is so, because I can compare it to, for example, fasting, where you don't eat, so you don't have to process so much food, so then you accumulate this energy inside and you have more of it. So I can relate to that in this way. Like if you're not putting a lot of energy out there for sexual intercourse or whatever, then you can accumulate this energy more. But so what how do you see these two perspectives, like a female orgasm as like a way to create more energy and actually utilize this energy and create more energy, versus
Right.
like not doing it at all and then accumulating? Like how does it play out?
Right. So I think that's the really the definition of sexual transmutation is taking that sexual energy and using another portal to push it out through. So you, in essence, are still releasing it. You're taking all that sacral chakra energy and you're putting it in different chakras. Whether it's your third eye, if that's where your creativity lies, if it's in your throat chakra because you are a singer or what have you, it's taking that stored energy and moving it through other portals, through other chakras. So you're getting that release fulfillment when you are channeling it, per se. You're taking that energy and channeling it through another portal, and typically those portals are your chakras. So I think that it all is reflective of how you're using, how you're utilizing your abstaining. So if you're abstaining, whether it's to get grounded or focused, it's completely different because that energy will continue to store in your sacral chakra. Whereas women, we do need to release that because as we all have experienced, a sexual release um, kind of gives you this elated feeling, and it doesn't go away directly after or what have you. It moves through us, and we kind of get into this. I do feel like it's a vibrating at a higher level with release, but I think it's all about channeling the energy and how you're going to move that through your body and not just sit in your sacral chakra. You're going to move it to wherever you choose to. Whether, like I said, whether it's your throat chakra, your third eye, your crown chakra, it's all about how you're going to channel that energy and move it. And whether you're meditating on it to see where you want to move this and you know channeling through writing or whatever it has, that creative level that you're trying to focus on, I think that's the key of where your release is. So it's releasing in the most common sense of having an orgasm and releasing that way, you're releasing through other chakras, and through with other chakras are other focal points. Whether it's like the brain, you're sitting, you're writing, you're getting thoughts out. Your third eye, whether it's your intuition, you're healing people, whether it's your throat chakra and you're a great orator or singer or whatnot, it's releasing that energy. And I think that's the whole concept, is we all have our energy can stick within us, and it's to find that channel, that portal of how we're going to release it. And we can take the energy of our sexual energy, which is our greatest, our most powerful, our most passionate, our most creative, and move it and channel it throughout our body to create these amazing things that, we didn't know about, whether it's, a creative side you didn't know about, whether it's the confidence that you need to move on in your current life, career, or what you're doing. It's all there to be discovered. And everybody has a different, experience, and, different needs, and how you're going to fulfill yourself. And I think, again, this is all a part of this journey that you're on, and everybody's different. So, and I think some people are, I think a lot of people can be partner people where you can experience this journey together. It's not saying like you have to do this journey alone, you have to check this box and do this. It's all there. Your intuition will guide you, your consciousness, you will guide yourself. And that's the great thing is a lot of people are like, well, I have to go to a therapist, I have to do this, I have to go to the doctor to help them guide you. But this is, you are guiding yourself into your whole holistic journey, which I think there's an empowerment in that.
Amazing. Oh my God. I'm just loving everything you share. I resonate with it a lot. And I'm super, super grateful that you came on the podcast and you're sharing yourself with us, because I can feel your embodiment of everything that you're talking about. And it's just beautiful to experience. So I have one last quick question to you. Where could people find you if they really resonate with you? They would like to work with you or see what your content is about. And yeah, what's the best way
Yeah.
to contact you?
The best way is on Instagram. I'm pretty active on it. My handle is Alison and B. That's the best way. My emails on there. I respond to everybody. I feel that no question is a silly question, and people are can ask all different kinds of things. And I think being open to sharing, and we all sharing our journey of life and helping one another is going to get us to that next level, that where we're all vibrating in a higher direction, instead of being, drugged down by the things that are holding us back. But I'd say that's the best way to have interaction.
Amazing. Thank you so,
Yeah.
so much. I can really feel your good intention behind the soul, because we are all one. And even
Yeah.
if one person is sad in this world, then not we are also sad,
Yes.
because we are all one. So
We're
we
all
need to make
connected.
everyone as uplifted, as uplifted
Yes.
as possible.
Yeah.
Thank you so, so
Thank
much. I'm
you.
really grateful for your beautiful energy and all your wisdom and everything you shared. It's been a beautiful conversation.
Thank you. Same as well. Same to you.
Thank you, beautiful people, for listening to us and being with us. I'm super, super grateful. If you'd like to find me, I am The Connection Catalyst on Instagram. So contact me if you have any questions or if you'd like to show up on the podcast as well. I'm sending you so, so much love and gratitude, and stay tuned to the next episode.